The Enduro tire is hands down the best tire on the market. I'm not saying that because Float Life is there. Go watch our review on it. It is, my thought on it, and I said it, is that the tread that you just see here is so unique. In one, the visual, which is a stunner when you see it, but also in the way it grips on pavement and in the trails. I think what I love especially about this tire is that the tread goes all the way over the edge of the tire, so when you're on a berm section in the dirt, it's still gripping with the tread. It's no longer the sidewall. I think that's genius. I think that's what makes it so unique in the trails. As you're riding uneven surfaces, it's still biting and you don't feel that slip. I just felt locked in on those trails. I felt locked in on the trails at any speed. The wobble, there wasn't wobbling. There wasn't. I just have zero complaints, to be honest with you. I left the PSI at 10 PSI. Was fine on the road. Again, it's a great tire for both situations, but I think it's far outweighs anything I've ever rode in trails. Even the Burris collab that Float Life had, this is 9-day difference. Built from the ground up with a one wheel in mind. It's so good. We have footage of us riding it in the trails. It just was buttery smooth. Lily, what were your thoughts as we roll the footage here? What were your thoughts of the tire when you jumped on it?
Well, I went from riding the WTF rails with the Burris trail collab.
Yeah.
And it was so different because I just was really comfy. Also had the Craft and Ride footpad that was on there. So I'm just but I liked it. I need to give it more of a go. I wasn't used to the rounded edges. But I mean, I'm down to give it more tries.
She was also on the WTF rails, as you can see her there. Those are the Bodi special editions. Like, seriously, we're way over the top on Bodi clearly here. But I don't think the rails, the rails are very different, so it's hard. It's not tire-to-tire situation comparable. But the ride of the Enduro is, seriously, Float Life, you guys killed it. I don't know how or what went into the creation of that tire, but you guys nailed it. Can't wait to see it for the GT. A lot of people are asking, they want it for the Pint. And so that brings up a question. Why don't we see more things made like the tires for Pints and the Pint X? Holly, would you like to take a guess at why you just don't see the third parties making things like tires for the Pints?
Well, is it because maybe like up until now they've always, like, the XR has been the bigger and the badder, and they've raced with them and things like that, and they just have more stuff available, so they kind of keep it in that realm. I don't know. Is there as much customization for the Pint? I don't know why, but
I think there's just not a market for the Pint. I think it's harder to push with tricks and drops on a Pint. Pint X might open it up a little bit more because you have the power and torque there. I just think the XR and the GT now with the update, it just allows you to perform more tricks at a higher level. And we do have confirmation in the text thread or the live thread there that the GT Enduro is coming soon.
As well as the Pint.
The Pint Enduro in development as well. There you have it. First hand information right here for all of you that were wondering, would they release that? Are they working on it? Thank you, Float Life, for answering those questions. It was a common question on our feed.
Before you show, I'm going to say bye to everyone because I have to leave. So.
He's got it.
Bye, Lily.
Scott told me to say bye today and not sneak out.
Not just sneak out. Say
so
your goodbyes.
To sneak out here, but goodbye, everyone.
Bye, Lily.
Thanks for hanging, Bodi.
Love you.
See ya.
Yeah.
See you, Lil. Okay, so you got a whole summer line coming.
Even though she didn't like the Enduro, it's cool.
Yeah, I know. He said even though she didn't like the Enduro. That's right. She did not. Like, I had to cut it up in the video. She's deciding if she's going to come back on, I think, on that. But I had
I think that's it's like anything else. Like, people, you're not always going to like everything. There's any mainstream thing that there is out there, there's a couple people that are like, not for me.
But knowing Lily, she she's got to give it a little bit of a go, like on her normal. Trails are not her all-time favorite either, so she's got to ride that around a little bit, and then she's probably going to
She had never rode the
I think
W
the
rails.
Enduro shines the most when you're cruising, like quicker.
Yeah,
Because that's when you feel the stability of that edge. You know, even on the street, like that's one of the things I love the most about the Enduro is on the street going quick, especially with dubs, feels like you're snowboarding because you're just like, you have that edge. But, you know, like in a small, tight space, just trying to like navigate a little bit, it feels really weird at first because no other tires have sidewalls that soft.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
For some people, like it definitely takes some getting used to.
In all of the tires that I've ever put my hands on, I said it in our review, the sidewalls felt the softest, and I said that's going to bode for easy installation was my first thing. And then I was like, it's going to make it so nice on the carving because the sidewalls are so soft. However, I do think with that tire, I do want more. I want to get the ring savers, put them on there. One, I think they look so good. Like in that video you just dropped where it's the white, like my XR is all blacked out, and I'm like, ooh, to have that white ring in there would make it look like...
Looks sweet.
Yeah. So that tire makes me want to go more to that as well, just to add that extra little bit of safety for the rim. Thank you. I do want to say a big thanks to everybody that watches every week on our YouTube channel, our podcast, or you listen to it. Without you, what would be the point? It would be just us hanging out in here doing nothing. Subscribe to the channel as we try to pump out as much one-wheel content.